Hello. Hope everybody's doing well. I kind of wanted to, I had planned to do several videos as I am on my new, new um, hobby craft deal lifestyle. But I don't know, some of you may have saw a picture that I posted a couple of weeks ago. It was a picture of a pencil skirt on one side and an apron on the other side. I've been slow at getting those projects done, but I have started on my apron, but I did switch up the fabric. The picture showed the fabric was white, black and white stripe with, I think there was a pink band across the waist, and the pocket was kind of like a small pocket with lace around it. I did switch it up. I didn't do that fabric, but I did go along with kind of that style. I did choose, I opted for black and white, still with the pink pocket. And then I made my pocket wider, much bigger than the one that was in the picture, because I just didn't think, for me, getting ready, gonna be the one gonna be using this apron, wearing this apron, I just didn't think the pocket for me was big enough. But what I did do was I went to Hancock Fabric, one of my favorite places, and I got a yard of, well, I think I got a yard and a half of fabric, and I got a 16 by 9 inch square of the pink, or it may have been a little bit over, but that's just what it called for. And it called for 2D 5/8 rings, and that's for the ribbon. And actually the pattern, it didn't come, it has a pattern, but you have to draw it out yourself. So what I did was I used construction paper, bulletin board paper, white, and it actually tells you what to measure, and what you do is you use your ruler and you measure out your pattern, and you cut it out, and then you line your fabric on the fold, and you cut it based on your measurements. What I have gotten done as far as this apron is, I do have my pocket sewn on all three sides, and then the top of the pocket, I have already done my top stitch. And what my plan is, after I looked at it for a little bit, I'm going to go in and add a zigzag divider in this pocket here. I'm going to sew a straight line, well, not straight line, because I'm going to use the zigzag stitch on my sewing machine to divide this pocket in just two different separate parts, two different sections. And then I need to, I did fold and press my hem, my seams to a fourth inch, and I sewed it using my guide on my sewing machine. And I would advise, if you don't have a sewing machine and your plan is to get one, the Singer Traditional is the best one to get starting out, for starters. But the only thing left that I have to do is I have to sew. I have one side left to sew, to hem, and then the top part has to be sewn. I do have my pins still intact. Don't forget to remove your pins before you run it through the machine. But I have to do that, and then I have to attach my ribbon to my D rings and run that through the machine, through the sewing machine. But I probably won't get to that part tonight. Also, as far as your ribbon, it does tell you, as far as the guide, the pattern, how long they want you to cut it, but you know, that's totally up to you and totally up to your waist size and how tight maybe you possibly want it around your neck. But that's all that's left to be done as far as this project. Now the next project following this is my pencil skirt, and it's going to be camouflage, due to it's going to be needed for the weekend for our Women of War conference that I have to have. So I'm going to run this through. Again, I only have 2 sides left, but I'm going to run this through the machine, and just stay tuned, I guess, to my YouTube channel, because that's where I've had the YouTube channel for a while. But the only thing that I have been posting on it is church services and things of that sort. But oh, and another thing, as far as with this apron, when I did sew my pocket, I did use white thread, and I would recommend Coats and Clark thread, because it is it's some very good thread to use in the machine and on your product, on your fabric. And for this, I've been using my tension on my machine has been set on 3, and my width has been between 2 and 3. The length of my stitches, I've been using a 1 inch length. And trying to think what else to tell you. Oh, again, always remember, as you're running your fabric through your machine, always remember to remove your pins before you get it to the needle, because you could mess your machine up. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to show you. As I was telling you earlier, as far as cutting out your own pattern, it gives you, you know, directions as far as cutting it out. But this is actually the pattern as I cut it, and you cut it. I place this side on the fold, and you know, when I cut this pattern out, I did label it. But when you place it on the folding, you'll only have to cut 1 time. So in this, you know, you just keep that in case you want to, you know, make any more. But yeah, it would have just taken me maybe an hour to do this project, but I have just been dragging my feet, and it's just hard to choose between what I want to do at the moment: crochet, knit, or sew. Also, what I've been doing with this apron is, once I get to a corner, this corner here is right at the underarm, is I backstitch. I reverse stitch just to secure that stitch in that spot. Always make sure that your pin is down before turning your work. But once it's done, I will be gladly proud to show you the end results of my apron. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment, or you can send a message through my YouTube channel. I don't know if some of you saw the finished product of my wristlet, and that wristlet pouch was inspired by The Fate So Twisted. Stephanie Renee Gomez, actually, from Star, her YouTube channel. She inspired me a lot with some of her work. So we'll talk to you soon when everything's done. Bye.